Happy New Year! I hope you're having a wonderful January 1st. I know I am. Spent last night doing a little bit of stitching after dinner with my husband, and then our son got home from work. He did work late, and he got home in time though that we shot off fireworks starting about 11:30 and went all the way to midnight. Had our grand finale at the midnight hour. It was great fun. I'm sure our neighbors aren't speaking to us. But actually one of our neighbors were shooting off fireworks at the same time, but I hope we didn't wake anybody up too terribly bad. But one of the things that I was able to do by stitching last night into the early hours this morning is I was able to stitch, which is, you know, at the turn of the year. And there's an old saying that whatever you do at midnight on New Year's Eve, you'll do a lot of in the coming year. So I really wanted to be stitching, but I stitched till about 11:30 and then went out and shot fireworks with my husband and my son, and we rang in the new year. And then I ran back in here and I stitched from just after midnight till about 12:04 this morning, and I got a little finish. I was doing a small, it's a special little gift. I can't talk about it a whole lot right now because it hasn't been gifted yet, but since the person that is the recipient does not know it's coming, I can show it to you. But it's just a word of encouragement to someone, and it's a hug. Now this thread you may recognize is this beautiful variegated floss, this over-dyed floss that my son gifted me for Christmas. And so I was able to put it to great use in this little piece. So there's my little hug, and it is my first finish of 2019, which I think is precious. Now, today being the first, I am participating in my first sale of the year, and there are multiple sales that start today. So I'll be doing a sale today, and then I'll be doing sales as the week goes by that started on the first but are continuing past the first. But the one I decided to start today is the New Year, New Start sale. And as I promised you in my planning video, this is what I've decided to start. So I pulled my threads this morning, measured my fabric, and I've gotten a tiny start. So I'll come back later and I'll let you know how I do, and I'll talk to you then. Happy New Year. Bye. Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. This is January the 2nd, 2019, and I want to thank you for joining me for my first video of 2019. Thank you so much for the happy Flossiversary messages from my last video where I mentioned it, and keep those comments coming, and at the end of this video, hopefully we will be able to select somebody to stitch those patterns. Anyway, today I'm coming to you to share with you my New Year, New Start. And this was one of my 12 new starts for 2019. And this is the Let It Snow by Barbara Anna's Designs. And I just love this piece. I think the scissors are just precious. They're so ornate and beautiful. And then you've got all these little winter motifs hanging off of it. The snowy neighborhood, the scissors for, I guess, your crafting and sewing that you do during the winter time. It's just precious. Let's just let it snow. We're inside stitching. Anyway, I started this on the 1st of January, and then I started watching Jessie Marie's video where she asked us to put a picture on Instagram under her hashtag if for where we started on our piece and then where we ended when we finished watching her video. So I did that, and Jessie Marie, I think that was great fun. Thank you for that. But I just kept stitching. So this is where I got to. I got the whole handle of those scissors done. I'm so delighted. I think that's an excellent new start. I'm really happy with this fabric. This is 32 count Silvery Moon Lugana, and it is just beautiful to stitch on. Absolutely beautiful. I'm so enjoying this. I'm also stitching this with another person. I'm not sure when Pauline is going to start hers, but when I had showed this as one of my 12 starts for 2019, Pauline indicated that she would be starting it in January with me, and we'll be stitching it along. So Pauline, be sure and tell me when you get started, okay? And let me know where I can see pictures of your progress. So that's my New Year, New Start. Thank you all for letting me share it with you. My goal today now is to go to my next project, which will be a little sheep virtue. I want to get that stitched for my series sal that I'll be working on. You're going to hear a lot about sals this year because I have decided to participate in quite a few of them so that I can get work done on all these whips. Several that I'm carrying forward will fit sals, and then some of my new starts are going to fit sals as well. So Happy New Year to everyone, and I hope to be back in a couple of days just to let you see my progress on my little sheep virtue. Happy stitching! Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. This is Dina, and today is January the 3rd. Well, this month is certainly getting off to a fabulous start. I picked up my Little Sheep Virtues and did the very next one in the series, number 7. This is Patience. And here's my finish of it. On my Afghan, as I've been doing these. And I will tell you, I made 2 changes on this. So I'm going to try to fold it where I can hold it in one hand and can show you the pattern at the same time. We'll see if I can do that. In this pattern, the border has an outline of blue on the outer border, and then it has white on the inside. And you'll notice the sheep are a very light color. They're ecru. Well, my sheep, I did a darker color. I actually did them in 3782, and I'm going to show you why. This is ecru. I did one sheep in ecru when I first started, and then realized I couldn't see it at all, and I had to backstitch it to even try to outline it to make it show up. So I decided to do either bright white sheep or to do this color, and I'm alternating between the 2 colors. And then because of this flower being so prominent in this pattern, I wanted to try to make the border look more like little flowers. So I did the green at the bottom to look like the leaves and the stem, 2 shades of green. And then I did the blue across the top to look like the little tops of flowers. I don't know that it was successful. But anyway, it still has the blues and it has green, and that's fine. It's the same pattern of the border that was charted. It's just a different color. And I like both of them. I think that one does give you a little more blue that you can see, but that's okay. It was a good attempt anyway. So this is number 7. And I'll show you a little diagram to kind of give you a feel for how this plays out in the overall Afghan. This is my placement diagram. I just finished number 7. So I've done these 3, these 2, and these 2. So my next 2 will be down on this row, and I'll do this portion of this little diamond shape. I'll do 8 and 9 here, and then my last 3 are across the bottom to mirror the 3 at the top. So that's kind of how that's going. I was very pleased at how quickly this one came together. It is only 10 o'clock in the morning here, and I've already finished this. I worked on it quite a bit yesterday, and normally I get 2/3 of the way done or so with the picture, and I have just a little bit of picture left, and I have to finish it and do the border the next day, or I get the whole picture done and I do the border the second day. But in this case, I had done 2 colors of the border before I went to bed. So I only had 1 color left on the border when it actually turned out to be the next day. So that one went really quickly. And if I hadn't had some obligations that kept me busy that morning, I might have gotten that one done in 1 day. But it was a full day of stitching. So, but I am glad to see that these are getting quicker as I go. I'm getting a little more used to the patterns and, you know, just jumping right in and getting started. So I think that's a good thing. Well, my month has certainly gotten off to a good start. This is my second finish of the month, so I'm really pleased about that. I hope you're having a great time. I hope your year has started off well. I do not know exactly what I'll be stitching now. I get the pleasure of looking at my calendar to see what sales are coming up and to see what I've penciled in over there as a suggestion of what I want to stitch next. So I will let you know when I come back to show you my progress. In the meantime, guys, happy stitching. Bye. Hi, everyone. Welcome back again. This is Dina, and today is January the 5th. It's a beautiful Saturday morning. It's sunshiny and bright outside instead of rainy today, which is really nice. And I'm here to give you a whip update. This was my New Year, New Start, and it's a Barbara Anna design, and it's called Let It Snow. And after I had finish on my Little Sheep Virtue, I had to get back to this. I just couldn't wait. And so I worked on it another day or 2, probably 2. Anyway, this is my progress so far. I'll share it with you. I just love it. Absolutely love it. Each little motif is like a tiny finish. And I got the scissors done and started working on all the stuff on the top half, and then I'll go work on the stuff on the bottom half. I did make one color change because of my fabric. There was a gray that was 413, I think it is. And it was the exact color of my fabric. So I went with the lighter gray and a darker gray. The lighter gray is called for. The darker gray is what I substituted in because the other gray would have just blended right in with the fabric. And the darker gray being next to the lighter gray helps it to show up with the windows in there. So I think that was a good choice. And I'm really enjoying this. I'm having to use my pen stitch quite a bit up in here because there are these little snow flakes and dots of stars. The snow is in white. The stars are in this pale yellow. It's called Old Gold. I think it's 677. But notice that all the trees are brown. Strange. 433, 434, 435, in that range. They're not green at all. They're brown. Kind of strange. But anyway, I love it. I love the color combination and the fact that here's these scissors with all these little houses and flowers, and there's going to be a little girl. There's a house here and then a little girl with a pair of scissors in her hands, and there's scissors hanging all over here. So to me, it just represents how much my sewing is a part of my whole life, and that these beautiful elegant scissors, kind of, or what everything is being based upon, and that's kind of fun to me. I have thoroughly enjoyed this New Year, New Start, and I will confess, I don't want to put it away, but I have other sales I want to do this month, and so I'm forcing myself to stop working on it. But we do have a stitching meetup this month. It's on the 4th Saturday of the month, which I think is the 26th of this month. And so I'm planning on taking this with me, at least on that stitching meetup, and get a whole nother day stitching on this piece. So I just wanted to share that with you and tell you how much I am enjoying it. I just really am having a good time stitching that. I have been having the most fun having a conversation with a young woman who found my channel a while back and decided to go and start from the beginning. She's so kind. Anyway, I just wanted to say hello to Jennifer and tell her how much I'm enjoying going back through memory lane with her, because she's making comments on each video and they pop up and I get to answer them, and it really helps me to have a stroll down memory lane of all the different things I've worked on in the past. So that has been a lot of fun, and Jennifer, I hope you'll keep doing that as you work through them. I hope you guys are having a great start to your month. I know I am. And I am going to be looking over at my planner and seeing what else I have coming up in the next few days, so I can plan what I'm going to be stitching on today. And I just have to tell you how much this part of my world means to me. I just don't know how to describe how much joy it brings to me. So I hope it does the same for you. I hope you have joy in what you're stitching. And until I talk to you again, happy stitching, everyone. Bye. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today's Sunday. It is January the 6th, and I have a bit of an update for you. I have been working on one of my whips. This is for the Halloween all year sale in Stitch Mania. And so I have been working on my Halloween tricks. And when we last saw this, I had finished this pant leg right here and had done the sock down to here. So I decided that I was going to tackle a very confetti heavy area, which is the rest of the sheet that's hanging off of this little boy before you get over into this one. So this whole piece here is the sheet that's hanging off of his shoulders. So I got that done. It was very confetti heavy, but we got through it. And so I'm happy to say it's there. It's harder to see because of all the light colors, but it's done. So now on my next time that I stitch on it, I will have a choice. I can go over to the little boy and bring down the stitching from his arm where the sheet is draped over his arm, and come on down and get his pant leg done. Or I can continue working on the boy in the front, the taller boy, and I can just go back over to the other side and stitch the remaining part of that sheet and maybe even get his shoes done. But I'm excited. I'm getting close to the bottom. This one should be finished within 2 or 3 rotations, I'm hoping. So maybe that's 2 to 3 months from now, I'll be finishing this one. I hope so, because today I did something. I decided to join in with Michelle, hi Michelle, from Farm Girl, on her Stitch 9 challenge, where she has challenged any of us in the Midwest Cross Stitchers group that, or anyone else that wants to, that you were to select 9 whips that you're working on, or 9 projects. She clarified in her video, they don't even have to be current whips. They can be projects that you want to do this year. But you select 9 that you're going to try to finish this year. So I thought, this is great. I like this. So I went through my whips, and this is one of my 9 that I want to work on this year. So this was the very first one in my photo album that I put up in the Midwest Cross Stitchers group. This is the very first one that I'm going to try to work on. The other ones that I have, you have seen recently, or in the past anyway. One is Ashley's Roses and Nantucket Rose. And then I have a new one that I just started around Christmas time, Kiss for Snowman. It's a small one though, and I think I could finish it in the year. And then I have 5 more of my Little Sheep Virtues to put on that Afghan. And so with those 4 that I just named and my 5 Little Sheep Virtues, those were my 9 projects that I want to finish this year. Now, this is, part of what I had planned already to finish the Afghan, and I had said I wanted to finish the 3 whips that I was carrying over into the new year. So it's just another motivation to do that, to keep me accountable for that. So I'm pretty happy about it. I'm hoping that it goes well. Well, that is my update for today. It's been a beautiful day today. Our weather was sunny and warm, especially for the season. And so it was a lovely, lovely time today. I hope you're enjoying your stitching, and I will be back soon with an update on the next project that I choose to work on. So I'll see you in a few days. Bye. Hi everyone, good morning, this is Dina, and today is Wednesday, January the 9th, and today I am starting to reorganize my craft room. And one of the things I did last night to get one of my stacks of Christmas cards out of the way was to do some paper crafting. And I don't show much of my paper crafting because I don't do that much of it. I do a little bit, but not a lot. I'm not that good at it. But this idea I'm not the originator of. I saw it on somebody else's floss tube that they were making thread tags out of Christmas cards. And I got to thinking that I would like to make gift tags for my gift bags for next year out of my Christmas cards this year. And so I got my punch that I normally use for my thread tags, and I tried to line up the little punch where I could get some really cute pictures. And so I'm going to show you just a few of them. But my son was really sweet this year, and every present that he gave myself or my husband, he put in a brand new gift bag, and he said, the present might be for Dad, but the gift bag's for Mom for next year. So I know I have a lot of gift bags that I can use for next year. And so I will need the tags that you hang onto the handle of the gift bag. So that was just kind of why I guess I thought of this. But I'll show you some of them now, and I think they're really quite cute, and I think it's a great way to recycle your Christmas cards that you get one year into something useful the next year. So I made sure that whatever pictures I was punching out, that the back of the page I was using was white, or where I could write on it, and didn't have someone's handwritten note, on that part. If I had something like that, I didn't use it for this purpose. But this all came from one Christmas card, these 3, and I'll show these to you. These are 3 little snowmen. And you probably can't see, but they're glittery. Well, maybe you can see a little bit on that snowman. But I thought those were precious, and they turned out really well on how they were punched out. So those are little gift tags there. And this is a set that came from one card, and it's a snowy village. So it's glittery as well, but there's a church and a home and a tree with people next to it. Cute little neighborhood scene, and I just thought those were precious. And then, of course, there's some other fun ones I have that I wanted to share with you. Just a couple more. Here are the three kings. And these came off another card. So you get the idea. I just punched these out and just used them for, you know, making my gift tags that I'll be using next year. The other thing I did is I had some cards that were very unique and beautiful, but they didn't lend themselves to these sort of tags. So I cut them into different shapes, but I can still use them as gift tags. But this came off a Christmas card. It even has a jewel in it. And then here's a smaller tag. Same thing. So look at your Christmas cards before you throw them away if you haven't already. And, you know, make some good use of those little tags. The last thing that I did is I cut the front off of several of my cards that are just plain or have something really pretty, like this has a scripture on the back and a beautiful scene. And there are some gifts that I mailed to people out of town, and I like to put a note into the gift. So I can take that card and write a note on the back of it. Isn't that pretty? For those gifts. And so I have about 4 or 5 of these. They didn't lend themselves to punching as much as they lent themselves, you know, to just being a note card that would go in a gift that I would mail. So now I have these in a Ziploc bag. I'm going to put them with my gift wrapping supplies as I'm packing those up. I'm putting Christmas out of the house this week, getting it back to normal. And so this was one of my tidying things that I did, started on last night by making these tags so I could put them away today. And before I did put them away, I wanted to share them with you. Thanks for letting me show you something a little different than I usually do. And I ran across something that I had meant to show you a while back, and I actually filmed it, and for whatever reason it didn't keep, so I didn't get to add it in. But I saw it again today, and I thought, oh, I'm going to share this with them because it's so old-fashioned. This is really a retro piece, but when I first started cross-stitching, I was looking for a way to organize my projects and to be able to take them with me if I was going somewhere. And so this is actually, I'm not sure what to call it other than it's a project organizer, and it's actually was made, as you can tell by the fabric probably, in the 1980s, around 81, 82, right about the time my son was born. So this is how it's stored. These are the carrying handles. Now, this is how I have it pulled together. You see I have the two sides tied together. You can untie this, and I'll stretch it out to its full size. And then you can just tie the two sides together to each other, and it can actually be carried this way. This is how it was designed to be carried. But I found this wide portfolio looking thing always bent in the middle anyway. So I just started folding it in the middle in tying it together. So that's how I did it. I don't use it anymore, but I thought it would be fun to open it up. I actually quilted this myself and show you what this is made of and what it holds. So this is my first ever project organizer, and I'll turn the camera around and I'll share it with you. Okay, here we are, and this is what it looks like. It opens up. It has quite a number of compartments, as you can see. So I'll kind of walk you through what this has and how it's used. It's actually got a project in it that I have not done and that I've had for years. So here's the pocket that holds the pattern, and this is the pattern that's kitted up in here. My son was very much into a more of an Asian influence in his decor when he was a young man. And so this was a kit that he had asked me to do for him. And it comes with the Ada that has the background printed there. It's funny that I should find this right now because my son is planning a trip to Japan for his birthday. It might be kind of interesting for me to stitch this for him and give it to him to commemorate his trip, but don't tell him I said that because I haven't committed to that yet. Okay, on this side of that, this half of the side, there are pockets here for pencils and pens and you know, anything that you want to put in here. I have a big pack of needles. Now these are needles that I used when I was making Cabbage Patch dolls and things like that back in the day. They're huge, and they're sculpting needles for you know, making those sorts of embroidery or canvas tapestries, that sort of thing. So this is my collection of those needles, and I just keep them in here. And then these were my stitching needles at the time. They're huge. I would never use needles this large now. And then my marking pens, which were just pens at the time. In the middle, you'll notice all these little pockets here. Those were for skeins of thread before I had to open them up, or before I had you know, identified what the symbol was and knew where I was using them. Then over here on the other half, I'm going to turn it this way, I think, so you can see it a little better. And I'll put my scissors here so you get an idea of what goes here. But this is how the threads were kept. These little rings are sewn to the carrier, and they were in order of how they were listed on the pattern so that I would know which color to go to based on where they are. The drawback for this is that there was no emblem on here, but as you can see, I pulled the threads down and tucked them into these pockets to keep them from tangling. It was quite neat. And then there's a bow here, a little ribbon that's tied across also to hold them flat as they travel. And then this is where your scissors go. So this is a kit that if you have it ready to go, you grab this and go. You've got your to-go project. You've got your needles, your patterns, your scissors, your threads, your fabric, everything. The only thing that's not in here is my hoop, and that would be something I would slide in this pocket over here with the pattern, and it would be ready to go. And then when you're done with it, you can fold it flat this way to keep everything nice and smooth, or you can do what I did for ease of carrying. I folded it over one more time and just tied the two sides together. And that's how I kept this bag. And I used this bag for multiple projects when I was stitching back in the day when my son was a small child. And it just kept everything nice and neat. But I just thought it would be fun to show you an old-fashioned, very old-fashioned way that I had figured out to organize a kit. It is a little wieldy, it is flimsy, even though I've quilted this fabric with batting in it. It's still not as, I don't think, as easy to transport as our current project bags. But I thought you might like to see a blast from the past. Thanks for letting me share it with you. Hello everyone, this is Tina and I'm back again today for the third time. This is unusual for me, but today, as you know, I worked on straightening up and rearranging my craft room, and I'm happy to say that I got it done a lot quicker than I anticipated. The initial setup wasn't too bad, and once I started going through everything, it was basically just finding bits and pieces that I had acquired or been gifted through the year that needed to go in a particular bin or with another group of items that I could combine. And so it was something I could get done in an afternoon, which wasn't bad at all. I will tell you a couple of things that I discovered. I had a little bit more fabric than I realized, and it was overcrowding my fabric storage box. So I now have my fabric split, and I have my 32 count in one box, and I have my 28 count in another. And I've separated out all of my Aida, and I have it in the third area because I have a very small amount of Aida. Because I don't use it that often, mainly for Christmas tree ornaments, that kind of thing. I did film a little segment right before this about a unique storage item that I found, and I hope you enjoyed seeing that retro piece. But I was pleasantly surprised to finish up as quickly as I did because I wanted to stitch for the Stitch Mania sale, Christmas all year long. They had posted that this day was for C is for Christmas carols or carols. And I have a whip that fits that. And so today I did get to stitch on it a little bit. This is Jim Shore's 12 Days, and you know 12 Days is a Christmas song. And I had basically picked this up and had started this kit last year. It was one my son gave me for Christmas in 2017. And here is where I am now. I hope you can tell a little bit of difference. If you look above that belt, that's everything I've done. I went ahead and got the strap for his bag stitched. And then I came on across here and did his coat and all the way up to his beard. And then I kept on coming this way and I've done the trim of his, looks like a cape, and the actual fur around one half of the sleeve of his jacket. So or his cape, whatever that happens to be. But I really enjoyed that. My goal is to work my way up to the top, to the corner, and start filling in like I normally do. I wound up starting this in the center because that was the advice to do that, but I really prefer working from top down, left to right, like I read. And so I'm just slowly but surely working my way up the piece. The next part now will be his beard, right in here, because I got this done and I got this trim here and that done. So the next part would be to get this cape done, beard, all the way up to his face and head, and then I could work my way over to doing this background. So anyway, that's my plan. That's where I'm headed. And that was my stitching, and just in a little bit of time that I've had this evening. We had choir practice tonight as well, so I didn't have a lot of stitching time today, but I did get some. I did get to participate in the SAL today, and so I'm really happy about that. Tomorrow is a new day. We have a group of ladies that get together at our church, and we do a Bible study together, and it starts in the morning. And so I'm excited about getting to see everybody, and then we will go to lunch together. And so I will have a lovely morning tomorrow morning, and then when I get home tomorrow afternoon, we'll probably be taking down all the Christmas. I got started with it today, and I just want to tell you something. My husband, when I took down my wall hanging out of the hallway there, he came in here and got Sleeping Beauty. Yes, he did. Came and took her right off the wall. Put her right out there in the hallway. Said she needed to be in a place where everybody would see her the minute they walked in the door. I guess he likes her. Anyway, that kind of tickled me. So now I have to stitch something else to go on this wall over here. Anyway, that was fun. I hope you're all enjoying your January stitching. I hope you've enjoyed seeing my progress as I work on these whips. And I don't know what I'll start on working tomorrow. I'll let it be a surprise for you and me. So in the meantime, happy stitching, everyone. Good night. Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? Today is January the 11th. It is Friday. And I have a fabulous gift that I want to share with you today. I got a message from a friend through Facebook Messenger recently that indicated this individual had a former shop model of a Mirabilia that was fully stitched, and it was missing a few beads, but otherwise it was complete, and she wanted to know if I would like to have it. So we messaged back and forth, and I received this wonderful gift in the mail. It's the Mirabilia, the Kiss. This is an out-of-print pattern. Isn't that? I'll try to step back a little bit so you can see the whole thing. But I want to come a little closer and let you see this beautiful, beautiful stitched piece. Look at all of this beautiful beading in here on this dress. And you can't see it as well as I can, but there is Krynic all through this dress, every which way. There's Krynic in the pink, there's Krynic in the lavender, there's Krynic everywhere. Now, I had to look really closely to see where the beads were missing, and I found a couple of spots. There's one bead missing in the border here, and you can just see that because there's a little blank space right there in the border, and I checked the other side, and sure enough, there's a bead there. And then down here in the hem of the dress, there's a whole gap of beading right around here. And then I can see a couple of threads where a bead or two has come loose. Well, I don't have this pattern. I've never had this pattern. And I went online to see if the Mirabilia website had any sort of list, you know, for the supply list. And they didn't on this one. I went and emailed Wilchelt to see if they would have the information. Then I decided, I'll just email Nora and see if she has it in her records anywhere, just on the off chance that she might. And she was kind enough to email me back. She said it was in her storage and she didn't have it, but she came up with a great recommendation for me. She suggested that I email or put a message out on one of the Facebook groups. And I did. I put a message in a couple of Facebook groups that I'm in that are focused on Mirabilia, nor Corbett patterns. One was a former Mirabilia only channel that's just recently been converted. Kim in Canada is one of the new admins, and she's sort of breathing new life into that group. So I sent out a message in a couple of those. Mirror Madness, I think, was the other one. And I promise you, within a few minutes, I had a response back. So Amy, thank you so much, because she sent me a little snapshot of the back of the pattern that has the requirements of what you need. And she even sent me a enlarged copy for the bead section so that I could read it easily. So I went online to 123 Stitch, and they had all the beads, and I looked at all their colors, and I knew that I didn't need these really large big beads right here that are so big, so I didn't order them. But not knowing exactly what beads I might be missing, I went ahead and ordered the other 3 colors that were in here. You know, for $1.94 a pack or something like that, $1.34, I can't remember exactly. That's not a whole lot to worry with to finish this, to get it repaired. So they're on order and they're coming. So excited. But I went ahead and let my benefactor know that I had been able to identify what beads were needed and that they were on order. And I'm going to repair this little bit and press it. And then I'm going to frame this beautiful piece. And I'm going to have this up in my home. So I got permission to share with you the name of the person who was kind enough to send this to me. And it was Donna Hensley. And Donna, I thank you so, so much. She did send me something else that was really interesting, and I'm so glad she did, because now I have the history for this piece. But she sent me the mailing label that was the original label that came with it when she bought this from the shop. There was a shop called Cross Stitchin' Stuff 2088. I'm not sure. It's a closed shop now, but in case any of you ever went there, I wanted to give credit to where this came from. Someone had stitched this as a model for that shop. It was in Washington, and actually in Gig Harbor, Washington. And when they were going out of business, they were selling these shop models, and that is how Donna came to be in possession of this piece. And so I guess she knew my love for Mirabilia and has seen that I've stitched a few, and was kind enough to offer this to me. And she did tell me, you know, right up front that it was missing some beads, and I didn't mind that at all, because that's a small repair, a small price to pay to have this beautiful piece in my home. So again, Donna, thank you for your generosity. And I just wanted to say, once again, I can't say it enough, how wonderful this community is. When I asked Donna if she minded if I shared her name, she said, that will be fine. And she wrote me back saying that she just loves needlework, and she loves to share needlework with other people and the craft itself, and she wants to continue to promote it. And she just felt I was the rightful recipient for this, and I appreciate that very, very much, Donna. And so I just want to share once again this beautiful, beautiful piece. It's stitched on an Aida. It looks to me to be 18 count, if I'm guessing. I haven't measured it. But anyway, I will tell you, people that are watching today, if you've ever seen the picture of this, it's so typical. It doesn't do this piece justice at all. This piece is striking. I can't tell you. You can't even see all the sparkle on camera like I can in person. But it is beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and the stitching is beautiful. So I'm very, very, very humbled to be a recipient of such a delightful gift. So again, Donna, thank you. And Amy, thank you for providing me the answer to my question so quickly that I was able to place that order right away. And that way I'll be able to get this thing, repaired and ironed and framed before you know it. And of course, I'll bring it back and share it with you. But I was pretty excited about it. So I had to come on and share it with you. Hello everyone, welcome back. Today is Sunday and it is the 13th of January. And I just wanted to give you an update of what I have been stitching on this weekend. I actually did this project as part of a stitch-a-thon on Cross Stitch Finish Line, and that is something that you can definitely participate in if you're a member of that group, and if you're not a member, you should come join us on Facebook, Cross Stitch Finish Line. This is Ashley's Roses, and I've been working on this since about July of last year. And I had gotten down into a little bit of this white in the dress, had a little bit of the shading done and some of the back done here, but I was about in here. And I put in 1,536 stitches on this piece this weekend before I just completely gave out. I was tired. I had other things I had to do as well, and so I didn't get to stitch any today until late this evening. And it's not the deadline yet to be through with the sal. That goes till I think midnight tonight. But I just can't stay up any later. I'm done for the day, as they say. But I wanted to show you where I had gotten to with her. And so I had actually started working on her before the stitch-a-thon started. I had worked on her a little bit on Friday morning and then realized that I was enjoying it so much I wanted to use her for the stitch-a-thon. So I stopped stitching a little before the stitch-a-thon began at 5. And I took a picture of where I would be starting at after 5. So I stopped and took the picture and posted my beginnings. And so I actually have a picture where I can show you where I started on it for the stitch-a-thon. So you'll see there's just a little bit of extra stitching there from the last time you saw her, but probably won't be able to tell that much because I hadn't been stitching that long. But I'll put the picture in. Now I'll show you what I got done on Ashley's Roses. You'll notice she's a little bit longer. There you go. I got a lot of that skirt done all the way across. I'm trying to pull everything down even. I'm going to roll this up where I can show it to you a little bit better. The skirt part, I'm trying to work on it to where I'm all the way across pretty even. I was trying to get down to about right here, but I just ran out of energy and time. So my next time that I work on this, I'll be starting here. And what I was doing is this orange in the back, that's finished. The plaid over here is finished in the back. It's not finished in the front. But what I was doing, since that's so confetti heavy, is I was doing a bit of block stitching here and then going and doing confetti for a while and then coming back and doing another section of block stitching and then go do some confetti. Once I got in a good amount of my stitches so that I knew I would make the cut on the stitch-a-thon to get my name in the bucket for the prize, then I felt more comfortable doing some of this confetti stitches because I knew that I had stitched enough, you know, to make it worth my while. So once again, I'll let you see her. Ashley's Roses. I think she's doing very well. I think we're making pretty good progress on her. So I'm hoping that in a couple more rotations we can really see this coming close to a finish. Try to work on her every month, and but she is one of my Stitch 9 for my Stitch 9 challenge. I definitely want to get her finished this year. So thanks for letting me share her with you, and I will talk with you soon, I hope. Hope you're enjoying your stitching, and hope you have a great week next week. I will probably have one final segment on this video, and that will be when I do the drawing for the recipient of my giveaway for the subscriber giveaway and my anniversary giveaway that I've combined to have two people win 2 sets of patterns. So that should be the last thing on this video, and then I will start filming for my second video of the month, which is at the end of the month. I try to come see you guys and share with you what I've been working on about every 2 weeks. So I hope you are having a good week, and when the 15th hits, I will pull that name, and then I can put that little piece at the end of my video, and it'll be ready to go. So happy stitching, everyone. Bye. Okay, let's see if we can pick our winners. For the Little House Needleworks patterns, there were 62 people that were interested, so we'll change this to 62. And we'll tap generate. 27. Number 27. Okay, let's see who number 27 is. That is Joy Leftwich. Congratulations, Joy. You are the winner of the Little House Needleworks patterns. And I've done the random number generator again, and unfortunately that video did not take well, and I don't want to do it again because then that would mean the winner wouldn't actually be the same number. But when I did it, it was number 36, and that is Rose Radenbaugh. So, Rose, congratulations to you. You're the winner of the Plum Street sampler patterns. There were 70 participants for those. Sorry, my video didn't transfer to my movie maker. I don't know what happened to it. It was on my phone. Congrats to Joy and Rose, and I have sent you both a comment with my email, and that way you can send me your mailing address. Thanks for participating, everyone, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.